When walking up the steep ladder, you'll be using balance step the entire way. On step 5, Nugget leads with his left foot. This wasn't an issue in this case, but if left uncorrected, it could lead to balance problems in the future.
Good boy. Jump.
Coming down a ladder, any ladder, but especially one as steep as this one, you'll use a goat step. Coming down with a goat step, you'll notice that Nugget leads with his left foot twice. However, his pacing is excellent, so he never loses his balance. This isn't good technique though, and it really isn't safe, so in the future we're going to have to correct it.
Good.
When entering the unstable tube, you'll notice that Nugget doesn't jump into it, but rather places his 2 front paws on there and pulls himself up. When turning around in the tube, your dog should anchor his back right leg and pivot around that. The tube is suspended by 2 chains, so it's very unstable. Notice how Nugget puts his front legs down first and then steps out of the tube. Even though this ladder isn't very high, you still come down using a goat step.
Good boy.
Whenever your dog is transitioning from one surface to another, you'll want to stay him until he feels comfortable.
Step.
On uneven surfaces, make sure your dog walks very slowly.
Good.
Nugget tends to rush when he's going across the creaky bridge, so I'll stay him to slow him down.
Stay. Stay. Step. Step.
On the second surface transition, I'll stay him again.
Stay.
Walking across the tiles is a straight pattern step.
Stay. Are you in place? Step.
Most dogs will try to drift over to the boards on the sides. Make sure your dog stays in the center of the grates.
Off. Good boy. Hup. Hup. Good boy. Yep. Step. Step.
Have your dog walk in the center of the grates, and stay him when the balance transitions from up to down. It's likely the first time your dog hears the rocks rolling down the pan, it'll frighten him. Teach the obstacle slowly, and you shouldn't have a problem. Don't rush your dog on the jump, and make sure he lands straight. Stepping across a gap is essentially a balance step. Right front and right back lead.
Good.
Stepping onto the guardrail is a balance step as well. The right front foot and right back foot lead. Once he's on the rail, it's pattern step. You'll want him to move slowly, so if he tends to rush, have him stay once or twice walking across. Stepping up and across the blocks is back to balance step.
Stay.
Getting onto the beam is balance step, so right front and right back first. If your dog is rushing across, make sure to stay him as you're training. To cross the beam, Move your dog's back feet up close to the front, then right foot first across the gap. It's pattern step the rest of the way. When he gets to the end of the beam, move his feet close to the front, and then it's off.
Good boy.
Crossing the logs, you'll be using a balance step. Always go right foot first. Stay your dog once with 2 feet on
Stay.
separate logs.
Step. Step.
Then stay him once with all 4 feet on one log.
Stay. Step.
After you've stayed your dog, both compressed and extended, you'll resume balance step the rest of the way. Remember, right foot first. As we progress down to the end of the obstacle, Nugget is drifting over to his left. Ideally, he'd stay in the center of the logs. Walking up the stairs is a straightforward pattern step.
Go. Go.
When training your dog to go inside the hole and down on the unstable platform, you want to be at the top of the stairs to make him more comfortable. To get him off the platform, you'll have him sit and then hop to get out. These stairs have both holes and ridges, so they're really uncomfortable for your dog. Make sure he doesn't lose focus on his goat step coming down. As you can see, I'm holding Nugget's leash so his head stays over to his left. This is to make sure that his right foot leads coming down. You don't want to lose focus on these stairs in particular. If the wrong foot comes down first, your dog can lose his balance.
Good. Good. Good boy. Ready? Step. Good.
On the horizontal bars, the 2 left feet and 2 right feet must always be on separate boards.
Good. Good.
Only 1 foot can be in any horizontal slot at a time.
Step.
Additionally, the back right foot must go in the same slot as the front right foot did, and the back left foot must go in the same slot as the front left foot did.
Good. Step. Back. Step. Good. Step. Step. Good. Step. Good. Step. Step.
When this was filmed, Nugget was fairly new to this obstacle, so as you can see, I'm actually steering his legs with his lead.
Good. Step. 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 Step.
When you get to the gap, you want your dog to walk as if there was a bar there anyway.
Good. Step. Good. Step. Step. Now here's where it gets hard. Step.
What I have found, at least for Nugget, is that this is harder for him to do with his back legs than it is for his front legs.
Step. 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 Good. Good. Step. 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 Step.
Nugget's back left foot goes into the same slot as his back right foot, which I'll correct right here.
Good. Step. Step. Off. Six. Good boy. Good. Good.
Over this entire obstacle, you'll be using balance step. Your dog can never have more than 2 feet on any block. The front feet should be down and solid before you allow your dog to move his back feet. On this block, Nugget is trying to move his front right foot prior to moving his back left foot. While this is easier on the narrow blocks, as you move to the end of the obstacle and the blocks get wider, it allows your dog to potentially fall off balance.
Good. Step.
The 2 back feet have to be placed firmly on the blocks before Nugget moves his front right foot. You'll notice from this point forward, I'm perfecting his back feet before I let him move his front right foot.
Very good. Step. Step. Good. Good. Step.
Nugget is a comparatively short dog, so these more widely spaced blocks at the end become increasingly difficult for him.
Good.
The 12th block is the widest block on the obstacle. You see me here cupping his back feet to help stabilize his balance as he moves his front right foot. Nugget is still learning this obstacle, so what you see here is me teaching him how to place his paw on the 12th block. When you're teaching this, move that paw as slowly as you reasonably can. Block 12 is equally difficult on the back feet. You see here Nugget searching for that block with his back right foot.
Good. Step. Good. Step. Good. Step. Up. Good boy. Up. Sit. Good.
Mounting the beam, you'll use a balance step. The front right foot and the back right foot lead. Here I am staying Nugget in the beginning of the obstacle. If you do this, you'll find your dog will move more slowly across the entire beam.
Step. Good boy.
Once he has been stayed, Nugget will walk very slowly across the beam. If you listen, you'll hear me giving him commands to actually take steps to keep going.
Step. 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 Close.
Climbing up to the sewer caps is a straightforward balance step. However, that first step is really high, so the back right leg struggles. Take your time on it. You'll notice here that Nugget is feeling his way with his back leg. Be patient here and let them find that last step. As your dog transitions from the sewer cap to the ramp, you're going to want to let him get square before he steps down.
Good. Turn.
As your dog turns on the lower sewer cap, he'll place his back left leg on the center and pivot around that until he's square with the upper ramp. Don't let your dog walk onto the upper ramp until he is completely square.
Step. Good. Step. Step.
Coming down off the sewer caps is a straightforward goat step. Make sure your dog stays in the center of the obstacle and doesn't hurry.
Go. Good. Off. Good boy.
Ready?
Good boy. Step.
Climbing the stairs and approaching the flap is a straight pattern step.
Inside. Good boy. Stay. Step.
Walking up the wall is a balance step. As he goes up the wall, you'll want to make sure that all 4 paws are flush against the front of the slats. This is the way he maintains solid and reliable footing. Getting onto the platform isn't a jump. What you want your dog to do is put 2 paws up there and pull himself up.
Good. Turn. Come.
The ladder attached to the walking wall is by far the steepest ladder in the park. Your dog will obviously come down using a goat step, but don't let your dog do it without your help until you are certain he'll do it consistently. Nugget's pacing down this ladder is excellent. Notice that he doesn't move his back feet until his front feet are solid, nor his front feet until his back feet are solid. I wouldn't let Nugget come down this ladder alone until he was doing it like this every time.